Hello, one and all. For those of you who are just joining us, this is Stories from Sector 8, Stories from Sector 10. Oh, I'm botching this. This is Stories from Sector 10, the Warhammer podcast that I do. I'm recording this right after the last one. I played this game on Sunday, the day after the 2-on-2. Me and the Tau player decided to go on a 1-on-1, and I brought Space Marines again because I'm still trying to get a feel for how they can kind of do in 8th edition with the options I have without bringing the new, better Primaris stuff. This game went a little better for me than the 2-on-2 did, but only because I went into it with the frame of mind that I needed to actually play to my advantages. Typically, I'm a very generalist kind of player. I don't like to tailor. It's not something I usually do, and even when I do tailor, I don't usually tailor very hard. And this list was a tailor for me, but it wasn't a hard tailor. The Tau player knew if I really wanted to mess with him, I would just declare I was using Raven Guard chapter tactics and make him his whole army hit me on 5s. I did not play Raven Guard. I actually played Salamanders this mission. But I did kind of try to tailor against him, against how he plays, and play to my strengths. And it went better for me, and I almost even won. For the first 3 turns, I had pretty much taken lead. I was doing a very good job. I brought 2 units of Devastators because I have to have those heavy weapons. And they were doing a very good job of disassembling his army. Every turn, I was using two CPs, 2 command points, to use Hellfire rounds and the flak missiles to do 2d3 mortal wounds to his Riptide every turn. Now, most of the mortal wounds did not go through. He was shuffling off everything he could to nearby drones. But I was still forcing him to kill his Guardian drones, which is what he paid the points for them to be there to do. And I was putting a lot of pressure on him. I brought 3 tactical squads. I rhinoed them up. They were in vehicles. I popped smoke turn 1 with most of them. I brought a Dreadnought equipped with the missile pod and a twin las cannon, not designed to walk at all, designed to sit in his initial spot and shoot, and that's what he was doing. Basically, I made sure I was a combination of tactical squads designed to get in their face, because Tau don't like having things in their face, and just long range, heavy firepower. And it was working for 3 turns. The Tau player was getting really frustrated. He didn't see how he could win. He thought it was a losing battle. I have been known to be a bit of a pessimist when I play. I don't like to think that. I like to think I'm more of a realist, but if you ask people, they'll probably say I'm a pessimist. But one of the advantages of supposedly being a pessimist is I'm always looking at the ways I can lose. I'm always looking at like my opponent's army in a way that they might not be thinking about, because I have a lot of experience with 40k. I've been playing since 4th edition, so I know things. And the Tau player was pretty much ready to give it up, and I told him keep going, because the step that was coming up was the step that I knew was going to determine if he lost. He hadn't lost yet. I killed a huge portion of his army, more than I've killed of the Tau the last few times we fought. But I kept telling him the part that really matters is coming up, and it did. I cannot, at least as Salamanders, I could do it as either Raven Guard or Imperial Fifths, but as Salamanders, my tactical squads cannot go at a ranged war with Tau. I have to get close. I have to tie them in combat and prevent them from shooting. So my 3 tactical squads and rhinos eventually got close enough to start. They piled out and were declaring their charges, and all of my charges, save 1, were successful. I made sure this is one of the things that was upsetting him. I had my Devastator squads, instead of focusing on the Riptide and stuff for a turn, I completely changed fire onto several of his small units to try to make sure I took away as much Overwatch potential from him as possible, and it worked. I lost maybe one Marine with a total of 4 charges. It worked brilliantly, and I made it to close combat. And I told him it's going to be the turn after this one that determines how this game goes, because the problem with Space Marines versus Tau, and I've seen this before, this is the problem with 8th edition, this happened when I played Chaos, is, once I charge you, if I don't slaughter you, which it doesn't matter if I do or don't, if I don't slaughter you, there's nothing stopping you from pulling back and shooting me. If they don't have flies, such as Fire Warriors, they cannot specifically shoot me, but the rest of your army still can. And I told him, once my tactical squads go away, you have nothing bothering you enough that your Riptide and Ghost Keel cannot fire back at my Devastators. And while you are a high toughness, 14 wound, 3-up invul monstrous creature, I am not, and you will kill my tacticals far faster than I was killing his stuff. I told him that because I saw the potential for that. The outcome I wanted was for his shooting that turn to suck for him, and me to make some more successful charges. That is not what happened. My 3 tactical squads popped out. My 3 tactical squads made charges. My 3 tactical squads got killed the next turn. After that, all I had left on the table was my HQs that he slowly killed down. My 2 Devastator units, they were both 5-man teams. He shot one with 1 unit and killed 3 out of the 5, and he just, like, you could see his whole body shift in a way like, oh, well, that was way easier than I thought it was going to be. I shot a look that basically said, yes, this is how Space Marines play. This is how Space Marines die. I mean, they were in cover. They had a 2-up armor. It doesn't matter when you're hitting them with AP minus 2 weapons. A 4-up is statistically 50-50 in terms of dice rolling. It might as well be a 75% chance of failure, because that's how 4-ups work. But yeah, once my tacticals went down, there was nothing stopping him from going to a ranged war with my Devastators and completely winning. This is why I say, like, you can't go to a ranged war with Tau. At least not with nothing but Devastators. If I had been if I had been Imperial Fists and I wanted to take cover and just bolter drill him, I might have been able to try that, but I didn't want to try that. I wanted to try the Salamangers tactic. I was interested in how the reroll mechanic works. But once there was nothing left for him to worry about, no, he can easily just kill the Devastators, and he did. I ended up calling it, I think, turn 4, because all I had left was a 5-man team of Devastators, the 2 who were alive, no, the other 2 were dead, the 5-man team of Devastators, and the Dreadnought. And he still had his Riptide, who, by the way, by the end of it, I had not even put the Riptide into its first bracket. I had failed to wound him enough that he even needed to use Stamina injectors on it. So that shows how well I was doing. I told him, like, your Ghost Keel's unwounded, your Riptide's unwounded. I mean, they were wounded, but not wounded enough to matter. You still have a whole breacher squad I have barely touched. I was like, no, I've lost this. The mission type we were playing, we tried the open war deck, and we had the supply package or whatever, where it's 6 objectives and only 1 is real. It was in his deployment zone, and all I had left was Devastators and a Dreadnought who were still in my deployment zone. So I said, nah, I'm done. That happens when you play Space Marines from time to time. You spend way too many points in your tactical squads because the book forces you to, and when they just die like that, you just die like that. Next time I have to play Tau, I will probably just say Imperial Fists and try the full ranged war on them, just to see how well it'll work. It'll be different. Like I said, if I wanted to be terrible, I could always just play Raven Guard, but in the future, I hope to be able to get some Whirlwinds. I hope to be able to get some Centurions. I want to be able to get some Thunderfire cannons. Basically, my plan is to buy everything from the Codex that is not Primaris, because I hate Primaris stuff. I've been over that before on this channel, I think, before. But there's a bunch of new stuff that I do want. I do want Catapraki Terminators. I want a Catapraki character, the captain. I intend to buy one of those. I want the Tartaros Terminators. I want all the new toys. I just don't want the Primaris toys, because I still like the Space Marine collection I have. And I want to improve upon it, not completely scrape it from the table, which is what Primaris is there to do. But anyways, I can rant about Primaris stuff forever. But, yeah, that's all I really have to say on this one. We played 75 points for this one, if that matters to you. Thank you all for watching. This is WellArmedWithTacos, signing off. I'll see you guys later. Take care, and bye-bye.